Jacksonville.
I knew it. Okay.
Start with the head coach. I think Doug Peterson. Any upgrade would have been an upgrade over the coach they just had. I mean, they had. So let's just say that. But Doug Peterson, good record. Good track record of doing good things. Producing good quarterbacks, helping to train quarterbacks. I can see Trevor Lawrence taking a step up this year. It was hard for him last year, but I think he's definitely going to take a progression. I think he's going to definitely have a better year than he had last year. Of course, if he goes down, then they ain't got nothing behind him. But running back wise, I like James Robinson. I like ETN. I think ETN's going to have a better year. I got him on my fantasy as a second, third back. Christian Kirk. I see the market for wide receivers. I think he got paid a little bit more. The production didn't match what he got paid, but that's here nor there. That was just the market. Hey, you can't blame a dude for cashing out and cashing in on the market. Marvin Jones, they got the dude Chenault. I think I said it right. Chenault. He was solid last year. You got Jay Jones. They brought in Ingram, who I think is going to be motivated because for the Giants to just give you up like that and not even really try to give you a contract offer, like pretty much just said, now you haven't been productive. I think he's going to be motivated. Offensive line wise, it's pretty solid. They went in, they got Jawan Taylor. I like Jawan Taylor. I think he came out of Florida a couple years ago. They brought in Sheriff. Everybody knows how I feel about Sheriff. I hated to lose Sheriff. Cam Robinson. So it's a pretty solid offensive line, pretty solid offense. I think they're going to be fun to watch. I think they're definitely going to put up some points. Defensive wise, looking at them, you got some solid pieces, man. Josh Allen came along. I think he had double-digit sacks last year. If he didn't have double digits, I think he was close. I think he was about 9.5 or close to 10.
Maybe.
I like Devin Lloyd. I love Devin Lloyd coming out of Utah. A solid player. He's going to hit you. Solid dude, really smart. Trayvon Walker was questionable, but hey, if they like it, I love it. If they fit what they wanted to do. You got Griffin at one of the corner spots. The corner's still kind of questionable to me, but the front seven is definitely solid. The front is definitely solid. I think they're definitely going to look better, but also at the same time, looking at their schedule, just being real honest here, looking at their schedule, I'm looking at they definitely starting 0-4. Like I can see 0-4 start right here. You talk about they start with Washington, Colts, Chargers, and the Eagles as their first 4 weeks. Like I can see them starting because I hate to say it, if we lose Jacksonville first game, I'm about to start my Ron Bird. I'm very on the hot seat. Like, yeah, go ahead and sit down. You want a hot seat now?
Look at it. Go 5 rounds.
I said hot seat. I didn't say fire him yet, but it's that seat will definitely start to get warm. We'll start to get a little toasty.
You are vicious, Mo. Good.
Yeah, but I could Jacksonville's schedule looking down, strolling down is brutal, man. It's really brutal. Like, it's brutal. I can see 4 wins. I can see 4, maybe 5. No, this schedule is really brutal. Like I'm struggling down here, and I'm like strolling down their whole schedule because they play our whole division, then they play the whole AFC West. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you got to go through your own division. Then you got to play the whole NFC East and the whole AFC West. I just don't. I'm gonna see maybe 4 or 5 wins. I can see them at least getting high selling. I give them 5.
Well. AFC, West, yeah, the NFC East.
Outside the Giants, though, I can see them losing all 3 of the teams outside the Giants, though. I mean, I can't see them beating Philly or Dallas or us. I can see them beating the Giants. That's one of the wins I'm giving them.
Yeah, and they might beat Tennessee or they might beat Houston. I don't know, but the head coach Doug Peterson, first year. He did good in Philly, so I don't really have a grade on him. I'm just going to be honest. It's a hell of a lot better than Urban Meyer. That's just a fact. They're saying it's run like Trevor Lawrence. We know what he is. Well, we don't know what he is yet, but we know what he can be. And it sucks that they wasted 1 year They wasted one of his years already. But it was his rookie year, that's okay. So he kind of gets a restart. Speaking of Trevor Lawrence, I think he's gonna do better this year. I think he's gonna make some major steps. He's gonna have a second year. They're saying that Doug Peterson offense fits Trevor Lawrence like a glove, and I kind of expected that. So I think he's gonna have a better year than last year. Now that listen, last year, to be honest, man, it was bad. You know, you had a college coach going to college parties and kicking the kicker and talking disrespectful, and just, they said he held his composure, so that's the great thing. So he gets to actually see how an NFL franchise is run by a head coach. Travis Etienne, I do expect him to have a good year. James Robinson is eager and he's ready to play. He's coming off that ACL. It's me, but guys are coming back from ACL quicker. Maybe it's just me, but I'm thinking like, oh man, you gotta maybe it might just depend on the program and the person. So, but James Robinson said he's ready to come back week 1, which is great news for them. The more offensive weapons, the better, especially in a running game. That's I feel like that's a rookie's best friend. For the receivers, you got Marvin Jones Jr., who I think is gonna have a good year because he'll be able to function well underneath his head coach than last year. Christian Kirk, we're gonna see if he's worth the money he got paid. See if he fits in this offense. And they're saying that Zay Jones is having a phenomenal camp. So look out for him. And then they got Evan Ingram as a tight end. So Trevor Lawrence has some weapons, and looks like the organization is trying to build around him. Speaking of building around him, that offensive line is good. They got Cam Robinson, the left tackle. They got Brendan Sheriff coming as the right guard. They got Juwan Taylor. Pretty good. That's what you're gonna need for a rookie: a running game, protect him, and some weapons on the outside. And then a coach that's offensive that can kind of fit his style, that he meshes with and communicates well. The defense, the defense is I don't know. People are saying that they're gonna have a good defense, but let's see. Let's see if they can make a name for themselves and really stand out. I do like Josh Allen. He only had 7.5 sacks last year, so he should be able to get more sacks. And I do like Devin Lloyd from Utah, who they traded up to get. He's been hurt in training camp, but he's plays one of those positions. No position is easy in the NFL, but I think that linebacker is one of those positions where it's like running back. Either you have it or you don't, or you're gonna know early. So it doesn't matter if he missed. It matters if he missed training camp, but I think he'll be okay. And as far as the corners, Shaquille Griffin, I don't know. Hopefully, he's going to be able to hold it down. He was a decent corner in Seattle, so let's see if he can do the same thing in Jacksonville. Overall, like Mo said, the first 4 games is pretty bad. But I do see them being a better team they were last year. A better team does equate to more wins. So I don't think they're going to have the number 1 overall pick. But, I can see them finishing 5-12. Which to me is a big jump. Okay, Corey.
All right. When it comes to the Jaguars, I'll be brief. As you pointed out, James, Urban Meyer being gone is a massive step forward for the franchise and for Trevor Lawrence himself. They wasted his rookie year, which I would say is a huge detriment to him because poor play during your rookie year is fine if you're learning and you're getting better. I don't think that happened. I don't think Trevor Lawrence got much better throughout the course of the season. And that could be a really big deal. They spent a boatload of money in the offseason on guys like Ingram and Christian Kirk, but I don't know that they have a ton to show for all that money that they spent. Brandon Sheriff was money well spent, but beyond that, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with former first-round pick K'Lavon Chasen, and they'd also better be right on Walker at 1, especially with some of the guys that went after him. But for me, the only thing that matters for this franchise is the development of Trevor Lawrence. You brought in a guy like Doug Peterson to make that happen. He's a quarterback guy, former quarterback himself. For Trevor Lawrence's sake, hopefully it works out for him. I do think that, as you mentioned, James, the team will be more competitive this year. It was just a cavalcade of mockery with Urban Meyer. They'll be in more games. They'll look better on the field. But I agree. I don't know how many wins that actually translates to. If they go 3-14, but look better, I think that's a win all around for their season.
Goodness. All right, Craig.
I'm not going to be long either. Doug Peterson is a good coach. He hasn't coached in a while, but I think, like everybody said, everybody is a better coach than Urban Meyer. So he should definitely come in and rejuvenate this franchise, at least from that standpoint. Trevor Lawrence, he had from a number 1 generational talent, best quarterback in a long time type of pressure that he had on him. 12 touchdowns and 17 picks. It wasn't it. Now he's in a terrible situation, but the only saving grace to me was his best game of the season came at the end of the year when they beat the Colts. It was besides the first game of the season where he had 3 touchdowns, this is the only other game where he had multiple touchdowns. But he had his best QBR, he had his best passer rating, his best completion percentage. So maybe from the end of that game to this season, it's going to carry over, and he's going to have he's got to have a better season than what he had last year. I don't think it can get worse than that. Travis Etienne and Robinson are there as well. So he has 2 young running backs that he can rely on. The wide receivers, I don't know. Christian Kirk got overpaid. Marvin Jones, he's been in the league for a while, but he's just, it is what it is. Zay Jones, none of these guys are true number 1s. At best, Christian Kirk can be a number 2. DJ Chark, who I thought was good when he was there, he got hurt last year. I thought he could have been maybe ascending to possibly a number 1, although I think he's probably a number 2, but he's not there anymore. So they're going to have to rely on somebody to make some plays for Trevor Lawrence. I don't think the team around, or I don't think the management around him did him any justice, or by going out and getting anybody of note. The guys that they got, I don't believe in them. The offensive line, I don't think is that good outside of Sheriff. So I think they're a below average offensive line, in my opinion. The defense is what it is. There's not going to be a good defense again. I do like Josh Allen. I thought he had a bigger impact than total sacks that he had last year, especially when he played the Bills. Josh Allen on Josh Allen. So I thought that was pretty much his best game of the season. But overall, I don't believe in this defense. It's like I don't believe in the offense. But this is pretty much a developmental year for Trevor Lawrence. You want your top player, or at least your top talented player, I guess you want to say, especially on the offensive side, to come out and produce and have a better season than he had last year. And I'm hoping that he can put last year behind him. Maybe it was the coach, maybe it was pressure, whatever you want to say. But I think this year could be has to be a better year than it was last year. So,
Mm-hmm.
I think the Jaguars are still not a good team. Just looking at the schedule, like you said, the first 4, but I'm looking at their first 11. Like 9 of their first 11 games are going to be brutal. So I only really see 2 wins in there, and that's the Texans and the Giants. So I have them going 4-13.
Okay.
Maybe it'll be closer games in there than it was last year. They did surprise the Bills last year in a field goal type of game, but I just don't see a lot of wins. So 4-13.